sometimes when you see things happen that you can't explain, it might just create an openness that there's something else out there. When I was young, I had an accident on an escalator. My shoelace got caught in the escalator and my foot started to go in. Doctors had told my parents that there was probably about 7 or so cases of this that have happened before, and none of them were able to actually keep their foot. My parents are both pretty devout Hindus, and so prayed very hard. Miraculously, I recovered from that injury, and there's almost no sign anymore. When I recovered from that, there were some things that sort of gave me a sense that God might be present or something supernatural might be going on. But as a boy, I didn't know where to put that. I didn't know if those were the Hindu gods or something else that protected me at the time. I had a curiosity about God, but I just kind of felt like nothing really made sense to me then. There was one thing that I was certain of. I was going to get a PhD like my dad. When I got to my senior year, a lot of my college friends were applying for jobs and places, and I didn't apply to any of those because I was going to go to grad school. My roommate had already taken a job offer somewhere and had told me specifically, if anyone calls for him for a job, just let him know that he's already taken a job and that he's not interested. A company calls. And so I repeated back what he told me. The recruiter said, "Are you anything like your roommate? We would love it if you came out instead." And half asleep, I sort of just said, yes, I'll make a visit. And for some reason, on the spot, I decided I would take that job. This is kind of a mystery to me because everyone that knew me growing up, I wanted to get that PhD. That's what I was going to do. I'm not someone to change my mind on something unless new data came in. My whole life, I've been working towards a PhD, and instead, I decided I'll just take a job and do some classes on the side at Stanford. I had also done a lot of karate in college, and I decided I would continue that on campus at Stanford. And when karate ended, I could hear the singing, the worship singing from InterVarsity. And so a couple times I got connected into that and started really enjoying going there and learning about Jesus and God more. One of the things that allowed me to do was to ask around about God, and I started understanding how it all worked. And for me as an engineer, I remember kind of the day when I decided this is kind of about maybe 51% true. My initial story on the escalator, that was a physical miracle. And I think for a lot of people, that might have brought them to faith. What really drew me to God was how he changed my heart. I was so passionate about my PhD that I can't explain my change in heart. And on the outside, I don't think anyone would see that as a miracle. But to me and the people that knew me, that change, that was God at work in me in a way that I hadn't expected. He took me to another place and gave me a different way to look at things by giving me time to explore. And that's what ultimately led me to become a believer in Christ.